Hello BookTube. I realise I haven't done a video for a while, so the three people who watch my videos will be probably heavily disappointed, I imagine. Anyway, I've been fairly busy, and but I'm going to do a sort of a book haul thing. I've not done one of those before, but I have just acquired a fair amount of books just yesterday. Some arrived yesterday. Yesterday I was in London at the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition, which I've never been to before. I went with a friend, and it was really interesting. 1,800 works, so it's a huge exhibition. And for those who don't know, it's an open exhibition. Royal Academicians, where people who've been appointed as Royal Academicians submit, but it's open to the general public, general artists. You don't need to be a professional artist; anybody can enter. You do have to pay though, but anybody can enter. I've never actually entered it myself yet, but I was inspired by it. There was some, there's always works where you think, oh, a child of five could do that, and all this kind of thing. But mostly, I found it very rewarding, really enjoyable, and some inspiring work, and some amusing stuff, and some brilliant work. I mean. And some artists have done very well out of it. I mean, works for it going up to, I think probably the lowest price would have been £250 up to about £40,000 for those who have the cash hanging about. They do an exhibition catalogue, summer exhibition, which is very very nice, very good, and interesting exhibition. And the place was packed. The Royal Academy, beautiful building, and a beautiful day for it in London. Very hot day in London, and really enjoyed it. Also went into the Linnaeus house next door, and St James's Church, built by Christopher Wren, which are all very close together. Anyway, one of the books I've just bought is this, The Artist's Colour Manual by Simon Jennings. Basically, yes, it's about colour, and obviously loads of it's full of illustrations and reproductions, very well produced. It's gone through numerous editions. I got this off Abe Books. A lot of these books I've got from Abe Books second hand, in other words. This was relatively inexpensive, actually. And I've not yet read it, as I say, it only arrived today. So I will enjoy looking at that, lots of colour charts. I do paint. I'm just an amateur. You see my paintings around me here. I've got a house full of them, oil paintings. I'm not interested in selling them. I do sell them, but I don't particularly look to sell them. It doesn't bother me one way or another. So just looking around and see all those. I literally have tons and tons of them. This one I did today, and they're all done on the spot. Yeah, anyway, that's just an interest of mine. None of them are done from photographs or anything. I do them on, sit out there. It takes a couple of hours to do an oil painting, relatively small. So yeah, so I'm interested in painting, and also in books about painters, biographies of painters, that kind of thing as well. Interests me. Anyway, while I was there I went with a friend to the Royal Academy. I live about 200 miles away, and she gave me this. So this is a new acquisition, Diana Attil, Selected Memoirs, Life Class. I've read one other book by her. She was a literary editor of high renown, very well respected, on Andre Deutsch. And so that should be interesting, because for somebody who's interested in the what makes for literary merit, she was a judge of that, of course. I think she had a lot to say about it. It's a quite a big book, actually. How much? 660 pages. So lovely hardback. So I shall look forward to reading that. And then this book also came today. This is Alice Evelyn Yang, A Beast Slinks Towards Beijing. And I bought this because of watching another booktube channel, Savage Reads, I think it's called. I'll check it out and put a link in. But he was so enthusiastic about this that I thought, why not? I'll give it a go. I've never heard of it's a first novel. I've never heard of the author, but won the Women's Prize. Oh no, Women's Prize longlisted, 2026. So I shall look forward to that. Get around to reading that eventually. And then some packages I haven't even opened yet. So getting the scissors out to have a go at these. End up cutting through the book, of course. I'm not careful. I could have opened it beforehand, but I thought the drama would be so much greater if I do it on camera. Will Self, Selected Writings, 2001-2021. Will Self's very, very interesting writer. Why Read? Yeah, it's called Why Read? Selected Writings. Yeah. So again, for somebody who's interested in books and perhaps looking for a little bit of guidance or enthusiasm and responses to things, I always feel I could do with that. Expert advice. Will Self, I've read one or two of his novels. He's been ill recently. He was interviewed on, there was a podcast where he was interviewed. It was absolutely hilarious, but he didn't look well, I must say. But he was hilarious. An unconventional, unconventional character, let's say. And his novels are unconventional also. The book According to Dave, I think I read. It's about a taxi driver called Dave. But there's far more to it than that. Okay, so that's Will Self, Why Read? And now there's this big package. This looks quite impressive, this package. Let's see what it contains. If I can get into it. There's quite a lot in here. So I think a lot of all these are booktube recommendations from people I follow on booktube. I think Queen's Gambit, Walter Tevis. I think that was a Steve Donahue recommendation. So I thought, why not? Never heard of it. It's about chess. I know the rules of chess vaguely, but that's about it. And then this one, somebody recommended, I can't remember who it was, but it was cheap. Anno Dracula. Dracula Cha-Cha-Cha. I've no idea what I'll make of that, but it's good to live dangerously. especially with vampires. And yeah, these were recommended by, this first one in particular recommended by Robert G. Reader of Books, and he was so taken with this that I was inspired to buy it. Salman Rushdie, Languages of Truth. I've read a few Salman Rushdie. I've not always enjoyed them. I'm one of the few people who didn't really enjoy Midnight's Children. I did read it when it came out, and of course that it's the Booker of Bookers, highly regarded book. I didn't quite get on with it, and I was in India, going to India at the time. Must have been about 1982 when it came out. I think I read it about then, and but I know he's a great writer, and I do enjoy essays. So I've got the Diane Attila's essays, the Will Self, and then this also book of essays. So I'm sure that'll be very interesting. I mean, professional writers, people who really know about literature, often have insightful things to say because it's so easy to slip into easy reading. What's easy to read? What is, you enjoy, and that's it. And these kind of people probably don't slip into that too easily. They prefer challenging reads, and sometimes we need to be challenged, and you can find new discoveries that way. Horrible little label on it. So that's Salman Rushdie, Languages of Truth, and then finally another Salman Rushdie. This is The Knife. And probably people will know about it, how he was attacked. I think it was in New York. He was giving a talk, and tragic. Stabbed, and he lost an eye. Meditations after an attempted murder. It's meant to be quite harrowing. But I wanted to hear his take on that. What is it like to be in such a, perilous situation, facing up to those kind of challenges that he's had to face up to with his novel, but got him the fatwa, and it all stems from that, and deluded people who take robotic instruction, and are so convinced that they're right that they will take another life because it happens to have annoyed them. So anyway, that's a good, how many is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not bad. So 31st of July, that's a book haul. That's good. I've got plenty to keep me going. I shall enjoy that. So thank you very much. Bye for now.